Florida, they're tickling my fancy because we have news. The Florida Supreme Court has appeared open to recreational
What happened?
as a congressional amendment. The legalization initiative would bypass Florida's GOP-controlled legislation. Tallahassee, Florida. Justices on Florida's conservative-leaning Supreme Court on Wednesday appeared to favor a ballot initiative to legalize recreational marijuana. Mary Jane. Pushing back against the state's arguments that the initiative hides information from potential voters. During the hour-long arguments, the justice pointedly questioned attorneys representing Florida's Attorney General Ashley Moody, who claims the language of the initiative fails to explain that marijuana is still prohibited under federal law, which could change soon. Justice Charles G. Kennedy said the proposal was clear. Where's the hidden ball? Kennedy said, later adding, I'm baffled by the argument. Maybe it's just me. The argument centered on a pot legalization initiative sponsored by the Smart and Safe Florida. We just did a show maybe 3 Thursdays ago where we were talking about the people that were losing out money to try to fight for legalization, and it appears that it might be working, which is backed by True Levy, the state's largest medical marijuana producer. The initiative seeks to legalize marijuana use for anyone 21 years of age or older, while leaving an additional issues of licensing up to the GOP-led legislation. Smart and Safe has already collected more than 1 million valid signatures, easily surpassing the more than 891,000 required to qualify for the ballot by February, and ultimately be on the 2024 ballot. At least 60% of voters would need to approve it for it to be enacted. Well, it's clear they have over 1 million signatures. I think they're going to have over 60%. If the Supreme Court rules in favor of the marijuana initiative, Florida's 13 million voters would have a chance in 2024 to decide whether to legalize pot in the country's third most populous state. Florida would join 24 states that would have already legalized marijuana for recreational use, including Ohio, where voters approved a similar ballot initiative Tuesday night. As a congressional amendment, the legalization initiative will bypass Florida's GOP-controlled legislation, which has ignored similar bills filed by lawmakers over the past few years. In 2019, Governor Ron DeSantis called on the legislation to remove a ban on raw flowers from the state's medical marijuana law, which voters approved by the ballot initiative in 2016. But DeSantis, who is now running for president, has said on campaign trail that the recreational pot is a problem and has said drugs are killing this country. The sanctimonious. 5 of the state's 7 Supreme Court justices were appointed by DeSantis, including Chief Justice Carlos G. Muniz, who also said that the ballot's language did not misled voters. Chief Deputy Solicitor General Jeffrey Paul D'Souza argued during Wednesday's hearing that the amendment also deceived voters by saying it will create new licenses to sell and produce pot for recreational use, on top of allowing what the state calls medical marijuana treatment centers to start selling products to anyone age 21 and over. Menunez disagreed, saying that the proposed amendment explains to voters that the creation of additional licenses would be left up to legislators. It seemed like it wasn't an unreasonable choice to put the substantive part, Menunez said. I can't see how that wouldn't be reasonable. The Florida Chamber of Commerce has also asked the Supreme Court to reject the legislation initiative, arguing that the measures violates a requirement that ballot initiatives must stick to one subject. The Supreme Court has until April 1st to hand down a decision on the case. If no decision has been handed down, the measure will be cleared to be on the next year's ballot. Smart and Safe spokesman Steve Vancor said the current effort addresses concerns raised by the court when it rejected 2 previous ballot initiatives, We believe that after today's oral arguments, it is clear that the language was drafted to conform to the roadmap that the court itself has provided in prior cases. Van Court wrote in a statement, "We hope that the court agrees with the language, strictly adheres to the law, and will allow the citizens of Florida to exercise their sovereign right to decide whether to amend their constitution." You guys watching, please tell me what you think. Again, remember, we did do a show on this maybe 3 Thursdays, maybe 4 Thursdays back, where we were talking about the problem and how the money is drying up and how there wasn't being enough money produced and pumped into this initiative. And currently, right now, it seems as if they are successful enough that if there isn't a decision by April 1st, and it's going to go to the ballot for 2024, please, in the audience, let me know what you think. And for my co-host, what do you think?
They're gonna shoot it down.
Yeah, my bro Rico don't be holding back. So it sounds good. It just sounds
What do
good.
you mean by that?
You guys are
Oh
you guys are
God.
silly. So it looks as though I've been reading some other articles. It says that these justices appeared they believe that they are going to vote in their favor, and that the Attorney General Ashley Moody did not deliver a very much of a compelling argument in order to win over the judge's opinions on this case.
I might have to get. I might have to get a. I might have to get a winter home in Florida. I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm not mad at that.
Is that gonna go when it turns winter in Texas? You're gonna go over to.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at
Same
all.
weather.
I am
I
not
get the
mad
same
at
weather.
that at all.
You because of global warming, you guys have snow in Dallas now. So I don't know.
Well,
Man.
I don't live in Dallas, so it's a good
That
thing,
doesn't sound
man.
like global
Hey, they
warming
really
to
get
me.
snow in Dallas? That's crazy, crazy. Last time they had snow out there, a lot of people died because they don't know how to drive in the snow. And you
Oh.
should see how they drive out here when it rain. When it's heavy rain, you know what? I love Texas, but this is, and I've lived in California for a number of years. So for people to say, oh, there's drug use in California, and the third, no, there's some of the safest drivers in California. But in Texas, you're more liable to die in a car accident out here than you are anywhere else in the country. And these are the people who are stark raving lunatics against marijuana, indigestion. Yeah, you can go to any gas station and pick up a 6-pack like it's nothing, like water, literally.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go to Florida.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Florida,
Well,
man. For the
I'd
win.
like to say I'm hopeful that we're going to get a court system to side with us because the law is supposed to be neutral. But we've all seen way too many political decisions come out of courts, and
Yes.
so
Speaking of court, Dale.